Today we're visiting the Carnegie Center. This used to be Lexington's public library. It's named after Andrew Carnegie, who donated money to build libraries all over America. They say this is where learning lives. And today we're going to take apart a radio and learn what's inside. But first we thought about safety. Taking apart something electrical can be dangerous. With the radio unplugged, we cut the cord and threw it away. The radio will still work with batteries, which is much safer. And remember, always ask an adult before starting any science project. Finding all the screws took a while. And what's this? Well, that's the F and AM switch.
This tunes it. It's the tuning device. Volume. That looks like a circuit board.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. What's that? Right there. Oh. It's a little dial. We found lots of parts inside, like the gears that change the stations. We found the circuit board with lots of electrical parts. And we discovered some really interesting things about the speaker. All of the sounds go to the speaker through just 2 wires. We also discovered the speaker is magnetic.
Sticks. Cool. Okay, so
speakers have magnets.
Yeah.
You know what would be really cool if we made our own speaker? That'd be awesome.
I mean, doesn't it look like hard, like with all the parts and everything and all the wires?
I don't know.
We should give it a shot. It doesn't look very hard.
I mean, how hard could it be?
2 wires, a magnet we know so far. Can we really make a speaker? How does the speaker work? And what parts do we need?
To learn more about speakers, we looked at howstuffworks.com. Here's what we learned. A speaker converts electrical energy into sound energy. Since sound comes from vibration, speakers need to vibrate. To do this, they have 3 main parts. The first part is a cone, which is sometimes called a diaphragm. This is the part that you see from the front when you look at a speaker, and it's what makes the air molecules vibrate to make the sound. The second part is just a coil of wire.
A voice coil is a basic electromagnet.
And the third part is a magnet, which we already discovered.
So how does a speaker use a cone, coil, and magnet to convert electrical energy into sound energy? Believe it or not, it's easy. Magnetism. Magnets can attract or repel. Magnets also make a compass spin. So if you want to see if something is magnetic, see if it can make a compass spin. As you can see, a wire is not magnetic. But something happens when you make a closed circuit and make electrons move through the wire. When electrons move, they turn into magnets. So we can turn a wire into a magnet whenever we want. All we have to do is make electrons move through it. This is called an electromagnet. There's something special about an electromagnet. When you make the electrons go the opposite way, the north and south poles change directions. So we can turn an electromagnet on and off, and we can change the directions of the poles. So here's how a speaker does it. If you make the electrons go one way through the coil and the magnets attract. Then, if you make the electrons go the other way, the coil and the magnets repel. If you change the direction of the electrons really quickly, the coil vibrates. This is what makes a speaker make sound.
Okay, so now we know like how the speakers works and stuff, but so where are we gonna start? Like what do we do first?
Well, we're of course going to need the 3 parts that a speaker requires, which are
The cone, coil, and magnet. Yes.
So we have a coil and a magnet right there, which is, we've already got all that stuff.
We got these.
So what are we going to do about a cone?
You know the like water dispenser things? How they've got like those cups with them they're kind of cone shaped, right?
Yeah, like the paper cups.
Yeah, the paper.
Well, those might be a little bit flimsy, and that could be a problem.
Paper.
And
What about an ice cream cone?
well, those of course are gonna break and everything. So
I don't think they're the best option.
We also thought of another problem. You can't just hook a speaker to the battery and expect to get sound. Where will the music come from?
We also need a source, something, because I mean, we can't just make a speaker and expect it to all of a sudden, like,
make music
by itself or something.
Well,
I mean, it would do that.
We found the answer right in front of us. These 2 wires make the radio speaker work.
Well, we've got
Some
this
sort of
radio
source.
here. We could definitely use the radio.
If we cut the radio speaker wires, maybe they can make our speaker work too. Time for a little surgery.
For safety, only use a battery-operated radio. And don't use an expensive MP3 player in case you break it. We cut the wires as closely as possible to the speaker and stuck them out the back of the radio. Next, we strip some of the rubber off of the ends with a wire stripper. If you don't have wire strippers, you can have an adult help with a knife or a pair of scissors. We still don't have a speaker cone, but now we have a way of making electrons wiggle through the coil to make sound.
Hey, it's vibrating.
You can kind of hear it. It's not very good.
We tried the coil of wire by itself, without a speaker cone. We also tried some foil. Since it's flat, maybe it can make the air molecules vibrate better.
I hear a little bit, but it's just static.
Speakers definitely need all 3 parts.
Can't even tell what song it is.
It's not speaker quality.
Do you have any ideas for a cone?
Time for a little break. Andrew Carnegie once said there can be little success where there's little laughter. A little snack can't hurt either.
So guys, what do you think we should use for our cone?
You guys thinking what I'm thinking?
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
The top of the bottle. The plastic is light and should vibrate easily. And it's the perfect size and shape. After cutting the cone off the top of the bottle, we tied a wire around it to keep it from falling off. Then we wound the coil around the cone. Instead of a wire stripper, we used sandpaper to strip the ends of the coil. Now we have all three parts: cone, coil, and magnet. Time to try our speaker.
You hear it?
Yeah. It sounds pretty clear, but the volume's really low.
It's better than the tinfoil, but
It's not really good.
kind of disappointed.
The bottle was a bust.
Really thought the bottle was gonna work.
Yeah, we need some help.
So we decided to visit THIEL Audio, a factory that makes really awesome speakers. Not many people realize this, but some of the best speakers in the world are made right here in Lexington.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you guys?
We're good.
Good. What can I do for you?
We tried to make a speaker, and we didn't quite get the results we needed because it wasn't very loud.
Okay, so you're coming here seeing if we can help?
Yeah, we were just wanted to see if we could do a better job, maybe.
Okay, well, you've come to the right place. THIEL has been making speakers for a long time, so we do know something about making speakers.
Actually, they know a lot. They've been making speakers since the 70s. Over the years, THIEL products have received many awards and been sold all over the world.
So let's see what you guys have here.
Okay, so we've got our radio. And then we've got some magnets, and we've got our cone with our coil.
Okay, and how does it work?
So these wires here, they used to connect to the speaker from the radio, but we wired them out here, and now they connect to the ends of our coil. And as the electrons flow through the wires into our coil, they turn it into an electromagnet. And as the electromagnet repels and attracts to the permanent magnet, it makes the whole thing vibrate up and down, which causes the sound out of the cone.
Well, you absolutely know what you're talking about, so that's good. Does it actually work? Let's see. I think I hear something. I do, I hear it, it works. Well, I'm impressed. Well, but you're right, it doesn't play very loudly, does it? No. You wouldn't really want to listen to that. Okay, so you guys have the basic idea, but you need to figure out how to make it play louder. And I think that if you guys come back to the factory with me and we take a look and we show you how we do things here, I bet you'll get some ideas.
That's what we need.
First, we learned how to make the cabinet, a wooden box that holds the speakers. THIEL speakers don't just sound great, they're also beautiful pieces of furniture. The sides are made out of thick boards to make the cabinet sturdy. After an operator types in the proper code, a machine automatically cuts holes for the speakers to stick out of the front of the cabinet. Next, they add wood veneers, thin sheets of wood that come in all kinds of beautiful colors. They use plastic templates to cut the veneer to the proper size and shape.
So the craftsman back here will take these, this is the size of one of our speakers, and they'll lay it on the veneer, and they'll move it around and see what they think the prettiest pattern is.
This machine adds glue to make the veneer stick to the sides. And this machine squeezes the veneer to make it flat. Next, the cabinet is sanded smooth and given a spray coating to give the wood a beautiful shine. 2 terminals are added to the back to connect the speaker to a radio. Finally, the cabinet is done and ready to get the speakers.
Next, we stop by a laboratory to see a machine called an oscilloscope. An oscilloscope is useful because it can show how electrons move through a wire. For example, if you hook a battery up to an oscilloscope, the line goes up. This means that the battery makes the electrons go one way through the wire. When you turn the battery around, the line goes down. This means that the electrons are going the opposite way through the circuit. But look what happens when you hook up the radio's speaker wires. Now the line wiggles. The radio makes the electrons wiggle back and forth through the circuit. With an oscilloscope, it's like you can see the sound waves.
Next, we got to see where the cone, coil, and magnet are put together into a speaker. How would you like to stick these magnets on your refrigerator? When the magnets arrive at THIEL, they aren't magnetic.
There we go.
So they use this machine to make the magnets magnetic. The magnetizer is really just a powerful electromagnet.
Whoa! Well, huh? And then you let go and it falls over.
This is a great job for a kid. Instead of a soda bottle, THIEL speakers use a white piece of aluminum for a cone. 2 wires come from the coil, one on each end, to make a closed circuit. Some other parts are used to fasten the magnet to the cone.
So what this machine does is it takes glue and spreads it very thin, all of it on there, and then this gets put here.
Now the cone won't fall out of the magnet. Next, they use a battery to check that the ends of the coil are hooked up to the right terminals. When you hook the battery up this way, the cone should go up. When you turn the battery around, the cone should go down. This one's ready. Once the speakers are put into the cabinet, they're ready to go. Off to a lucky customer. Great tour.
Okay, so you guys saw back there how we make our speakers. This is one here. Tell me what is the same as what you guys have?
Well, you have a cone like ours. You've got your coil and you've got your magnet.
Okay, that's right. And we put them together like this. And we have our own speaker, just like you have. But what's different about it?
Well, you've got a much bigger magnet than us.
Yep,
for sure.
A big thing, that's true. Anything else?
The coil is on the bottom, and the coil goes inside the magnet.
Okay, those are good observations. So do you think that those things are going to make it play more loudly?
Yes.
Okay, I think that you're right. So are you guys going to go back and try some changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do?
For sure we'll get a bigger magnet. We'll move the coil to the bottom of the cone, and we will put the coil inside the magnet.
Okay, well, I think that if you do that, you're probably going to be pretty impressed with the difference you see. So I hope that it works, And I would love it if you guys would let me know when you finish, if it comes out all right.
We got some really great ideas from our visit to THIEL Audio. The old magnet was too small, and the coil was too far away. Our new speaker has a larger magnet, and the coil goes inside.
Works?
I can hear pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I mean, for a plastic cup.
It works pretty well. To learn how you can make a real speaker, check out our website.
And be sure to tune in again to another exciting episode of Crosstown Kids.